Hey guys, I'm Adrienne and this is XOXO Cooks, the weekly cooking show with recipes that make you feel great. Today we're going to talk through how the KitchenAid mixer ice cream maker attachment works, and then I'll show a mint chocolate chip ice cream recipe that is so good. The one attachment that I really wanted to get for this summer was the ice cream maker. And basically it's just this big thick bowl that's all insulated. It has some sort of a freezy stuff inside of it. The thing that's a little frustrating about it when you first get it in the mail and you're all excited, you open up the box and step one is put it in the freezer for 15 hours. So prepare yourself that you need a little bit of extra time to get this thing frozen before you start. So ice cream is basically just milk, cream, sugar of some sort, and an emulsifier. And there are a lot of different emulsifiers you'll see in recipes, xanthan gum or corn syrup, or my favorite one, egg yolks. And the recipe that we're using today uses 10 egg yolks. 10, it's so many. So ice cream recipes fall into two different categories. Really easy to make, you just mix it up and go, or put in a little bit of extra time, put it on the stove, cook it up. It's almost like making a custard and then put it in the machine. The recipe that we're gonna do today, the mint chocolate chip, is in the cook it on the stove, and it takes a little bit longer side of things. But it's really worth it. If you have a little extra time and you want to make a really decadent ice cream, give this one a try. So we have 2 cups of whole milk and 2 cups of heavy cream. We'll put in a big saucepan over medium heat and add in about a handful of fresh mint leaves. Bring that up to a simmer. Meanwhile, we need 10 egg yolks. Ta-da! All right, simmering. Now that it's simmering, we'll take it off the heat and let it sit at room temperature for 20 minutes. Pour it into a new saucepan with a fine mesh strainer on the top to strain out all of the mint leaves. So we want a total of 1 cup of honey in this. You can also use 1 2/3 cup of white sugar if you want. It's a little bit cheaper. And we'll just put in most of it, but save some for later. And turn this on to a medium heat. You want the honey to dissolve inside. We'll add these egg yolks with the rest of the honey and mix that up. We'll turn off the heat and start spooning it into our egg mixture while we whisk to temper the eggs so they don't curdle. So if you have an assistant, this is a great time to invite them over. So I washed this blue pot and the strainer that we had used before, and we just will pour our egg and milk mixture through here, just in case there were any little chunks, because we don't want any chunks in the ice cream. And we really did a good job. There are not chunks in here. Heat this up on medium heat, stirring it constantly, and it's going to start to turn into a thicker custard. And this is a little similar to making custard like in my princess torte cake, or banana cream pie, or in the trifle that we made with Dave. I've made more custard since starting this cooking show last year than in the rest of my life combined. So it's been about 10 minutes. It's bubbling. We have to keep stirring it constantly here.
Make an ice bath, which is basically just a bowl with some ice and another bowl on top.
So it's been about 15 minutes, and I think I'm gonna call this ready to go. It's thickened up a little bit, and now we need to pour it into our ice bath to cool it down quickly. Now we'll let this cool in this ice bath for a little while before we put it in the refrigerator. Oh, that was supposed to go through a strainer, but you know what? It's really smooth. I'm not gonna worry about getting those chunks out. So we'll strain it right into the Tupperware container that we're gonna store it in the fridge. So now we will put this in the refrigerator until it cools overnight. So now it's the next morning and we're ready to get our KitchenAid ice cream attachment going. And when you buy the KitchenAid ice cream attachment, it comes with 3 parts. This bowl, which we've had in the freezer for the last 15 hours, so now it's very cold, and the plastic paddle and this little piece that adapts the top of the mixer. And this has 2 different sizes on it, so this will fit for either kind of KitchenAid mixer that you have. So the first step is to take this little thing, and depending on how long the metal part is, you put that piece on, and this just sort of snaps in there. And then you take the bowl, put that on here, lock it into place. And the last step is just taking this paddle and setting it inside. It doesn't actually connect to this thing. When you set this down on it, it will lock in, but it doesn't connect to the top of the mixer, which is a little bit different than the normal thing. So our ice cream custard is now a little harder after being refrigerated overnight. Get some dark chocolate. You can use chocolate chips, or I just picked out a Lindt dark chocolate bar at the drugstore, cut it up into little pieces. We'll turn on this mixer to the stir speed, which is the first step, and then just start putting this in. I'm getting it all over the place. Let's try this again. I'm gonna put it all in before I turn it on after all. And I'll just be careful not to get it on the top part. So line this up. And this will just go for 20 or 25 minutes until it thickens up. It has been 25 minutes, and I am going to pour in the chocolate chips. The chocolate chips have been stirring for 5 minutes, and I think we're done. And so the consistency is pretty soft. So now we just pop this in the freezer, and it will harden up a little bit more. So there we go, honey mint chocolate chip ice cream. It is so good. I know already because I've been licking the spoon the whole time. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend who likes ice cream. Along with this recipe, I have a hot fudge sauce recipe from last week. If this is a little bit too intense for you, next week I'm gonna make a recipe that is the easy version of ice cream without any of the cooking. Thanks for watching. Have a great week and eat a lot of ice cream.